Hello there, hobby homies. You know what time it is. Time to bust open a box of magic. If you're following me on Twitter, which you're probably not, at, how about right up there, hobby homie. You can follow me there on Twitter. If you're following me, I said I was going to open a box of Shadows over Innistrad. But upon further inspection of the box, it is a Japanese box. And me being from the United States, cannot read Japanese. So I'm not opening that box. Instead, I've decided to open a box of Rivals of Ixalan. So let me grab that box for you real quick, and then we can bust it open and see what kind of goodies we get out of it. Not even gonna go nowhere, just kidding. Bam, there it is, look at it. Let's bust this thing over, see what we get. Grab this shank. Let's see what we pull out of it. Make a little room, you know. I'm sure we'll get it eventually. Pretty golden packs. Box off to the side. Pack number one. Let's see what kind of finds we can get out of this stuff. First time I've opened any of these, so I don't even know what's in it. All right. Gate. Let's see now. How about Kamina's Awakening? Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. If you have the city's blessing instead, only you draw a card. Forest and Treasure. Looking for treasure. I saw that one. Kite-tail Corsair. Mastermind's Acquisition. Choose one, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. Choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. That's interesting. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Feel it already. Oh, there it is. No, it isn't. It's just toying with me now. The pack is trolling me. It's like, I'm going to open, but not really. I want you to look like an idiot. Stampede Horncrest. Sailor Means. Come on, get my hands to work here. Golden Guardian. Defender. Golden Guardian fights another target creature you control. When Golden Guardian dies this turn, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. Just looking at that card, that's a waste. Checklist card. Crashing Tide Dusk Charger. I just got that Viper like the first pack. Stone Quarry. Silverclad Ferocidons. Enrage. Whenever Silverclad Ferocidons is dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. Control them. No, I grid them in armor and let them loose. Merfolk. I don't know what I'm going to do with that box of Japanese cards. I'm going to open them eventually. It's a little agitating. I mean, I knew there was Japanese writing on it, but I assumed that was just regular. Protean Raider. Raid, if you attacked with a creature this turn, you may have Protean Raider enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. That's pretty cool. Imitation is the sincerest form of piracy. Oh, there's some shimmer. There you go, get it to hit. Sleeves keep falling down, you know. Swaggering Corsair, got a swagger back. I got my swagger back. Say what? You better get your swagger back. Kamina, Tyrant of Orazka. Tap another untapped merfolk you control. Kumina, Tyrant of Orazka, can't be blocked this turn. Tap 3 untapped merfolk you control. Draw a card. Tap 5 untapped merfolk you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on each merfolk you control. That could be useful too. Isn't that cute? Magic Minecraft. Feels bad, man. Raptor Companion. I got 2 raptors in a row. Oh, there's another vampire. I'm gonna see who my friend's gonna be today. Strength of the pack. Ravenous Chupacabra. That is cool looking. J-Light Ranger. J-Light Ranger enters the battlefield. It explores. Then it explores again. Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then put the card back or put it into your graveyard. Then repeat this process. Wow. I could do something too. Thank you. Goblin Trailblazer. Blazing Trail. Dusk Charger. Grasping Scoundrel. Wayward Swordtooth. Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Wayward Swordtooth can attack or block unless you have the city's blessing. You've been up. There's your city's blessing right there. You've been blessed, my child. Another raptor. Another raptor. Just trying to figure out what the picture was. Cleansing Ray, Mutiny. Crafty Cut Purse. Flash, when Crafty Cut Purse enters the battlefield, each token that would be created under an opponent's control this turn is created under your control instead. Possession is 11/10 of the pirate code. Probably believe that. Dusk Charger. Raptors and Chargers. Foul Orchard. Pretty cool. Tetsamok Primal Death. Death Touch. Reveal Tetsamok Primal Death from your hand. Put a prey counter on target creature. Activate this ability only during your turn. When Tetsamok enters the battlefield, destroy each creature your opponents control with a prey counter on it. Look at him, he got a big shank in his mouth. Another mutiny. Cleansing Ray. Another one of Path of Metal. Path of Metal in this battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature that does not have first strike, double strike, vigilance, or haste. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures that have first strike, double strike, vigilance, and or haste, transform Path of Metal. Gate. Raptor, Spirewinder. Got a shank in his mouth. Shank mouth. Evolving Winds, Kitesail Corsair. Dead Man's Chest. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast non-land cards from among them for as long as they remain exiled. And you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast those spells. I'm going to try and negate. Another shank mouth. Repel. I'm going to gut it in. Cut him up like a catfish. Awakened Amalgam. Awakened Amalgam's power and toughness are each equal to the number of differently named lands you control. Sea Red. It's a Talpa Primal Dawn. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. There's the old Trailblazer again. Sea Legs, Naturalize, Impale. I think I've seen about 3 of those amulets too. We just not get something similar to this? Yeah, I think so. Tetsamok Primal Death, number 2, I believe. If not, you can laugh and point. I'm stupid, but I think that's the second one. I'd forget my last name if it wasn't on my driver's license. Water Knot. Induced Amnesia. When Induced Amnesia enters the battlefield, target player exiles all cards from his or her hand face down, then draws that many cards. When Induced Amnesia is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return the exiled cards to their owner's hand. We were going so good for a while too. Sleeve up. Sleeve up. Canal Monster, Evolving Winds, Highland Lake, Captain's Hook. It's pretty cool. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, has menace, and is a pirate in addition to its other creature types. Whenever Captain's Hook becomes unattached from a permanent, destroy that permanent. There's some shaky. Flapping, Fleet Border, Mutiny, Profane Procession. Exile target creature, then if there are 3 or more cards exiled with Profane Procession, transform it. Transform like Optimus Prime. Swaggering Corsair, Mr. Swaggerback. Another vampire. Blaze and Hope. Paladin of Atonement. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Paladin of Atonement. Paladin of Atonement dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. Hunt the Wheat, Dinosaur Hunter. Another Impale. Atali Primal Storm. Whenever Atali Primal Storm attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. I'm never gonna learn how to open these things, I reckon. Jadecraft Artisan. You know, like, yeah, build this jade. Azor the Lawbringer. Flying. When Azor the Lawbringer enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant or sorcery spells during that player's next turn. Whenever Azor attacks, you may pay. All of that stuff right there. Don't feel like talking it. If you do, you gain X life and draw X cards. Jade Bearer, Foul Orchard. Slaughter the Strong. Each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures he or she controls. Another freebooter. Oh, 2 in a row. River Darter. Trapjaw Tyrant. Enrage. Whenever Trapjaw Tyrant is dealt damage, exile target creature and opponent controls until Trapjaw Tyrant leaves the battlefield. I would advise you not to struggle. When I saw the red, I thought I was getting a third one. I'd have called shenanigans. Enter the Unknown. Deep-Root Elite. Whenever another merfolk enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target merfolk you control. Hornswoggle. Like the little wrestler, right? Not really. Pretty cool looking though. Shiny. Swoggle. Oh. There we go. Dinosaur Hunter, Aggressive Urge, Bombard, Dire Fleet Daredevil. First strike, Dire Fleet Daredevil enters the battlefield. Exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast that card this turn, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. If that card would be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. More treasure. Come on, man. That's 2 in a row on that one, too. Starting to feel some tomfoolery going on here. Oh, whoa, look at this. Sorry to make this is going to be longer. Last pack. This pack. The same pack. Same 2. Same 2. Same 2. Then it changes. What is that? All right, I'm back. That's just a ripoff right there. Look at it. The exact same correlation. Tomb Robber. Menace. Discard a card. Tomb Robber explores. Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card in your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Then put the card back into your graveyard. I feel like I'm opening Cyberpunk the way these cards be acting. Shady. I thought I noticed that when I was opening some more of the Spark too, that the cards kind of almost how they're loaded into a machine for sorting or whatever. Bishop of Binding. When Bishop of Binding enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Bishop of Binding leaves the battlefield. Whenever Bishop of Binding attacks, target vampire gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the power of the exiled card. Strider Harness with some platinum hits. And the Cyberpunk cards, the booster boxes felt the same way too. Like I would feel like I was getting the exact same pack, like the same cards in the same order. Journey to Eternity. Enchant creature you control. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Then return Journey of Eternity to the battlefield transformed under your control. It was like when I was a kid, you could buy a pack of 89 Fleer baseball, 1989 Fleer baseball. When you were looking for the Bill Ripken error card. And you could, me and a buddy were actually, we would buy the packs and we would write down the order the cards would come in. And we figured out. Nezahal Primal Tide. Nezahal Primal Tide can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Discard 3 cards. Exile Nezahal. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner control at the beginning of the next end step. Well, we figured out where to look for the Bill Ripken error cards in the 89 Fleers. We also learned that Donruss in 1989 baseball would sell those cello packs that would have like 3 packs in the clear. Well, we also figured out that if you bought the ones with the Bob Malacky card on top, you would get a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. Tendershoe Dryad. Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. We figured out that the Bob Malacky card on top of the 3-pack of the 3-pack cello packs, you were almost 99% of the time you were guaranteed a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. So that was the first thing we would do. We would look for the 89 Donruss cello packs. Captain's Hook again. Blah, blah, blah. Not going to read it because we already got it, but it's got the shimmer and the shine. That's pretty cool. Kind of happy about that. Precious. Hopefully it's worth something. Path of Metal. Oh, I got something similar that I don't know if it's the same one. Path of Metal enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have first strike, double strike. Yes, visually. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I read that one before. It looks familiar. So that's my story of figuring out that this is. I've been doing this for years and years. Like I said, we used to hand write them down on paper to figure out how they would come out of the box or how they would come out of the machine that would, I guess, pack them. Blood Sun. When Blood Sun enters the battlefield, draw a card. All lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. I'm pretty sure it was the Bob Malacky card would guarantee you the Griffey. It was an Oriole. I'm sure of that. I can't remember though. That was like a very long time ago. Polyraptor. Enrage. Whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. Polly wants a raptor. Release to the Wind. Exile target non-land permanent for as long as that card remains exiled. Its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. Here and gone like a fleeting breeze. Brazen freebooter. Come on, man. After this video, I'm going to go back and figure out how many packs were like hustled. Shake the foundation. Galta Primal Hunger. Galta Primal Hunger costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. Trample. City's Blessing. Last pack, homies. Swagger and Corsair. Warkite Marauder. Flying. Whenever Warkite Marauder attacks target creature defending player control, loses all abilities and has base power on toughness 0/1 until end of turn. Alright. This is what we got here. Warkite Marauder. Galta Primal Hunger. I'll get it out. Release to the Wind. Polyraptor. Blood Sun. Path of Metal. Captain's Hook with the Precious on it. Hopefully it's worth $1 million. Probably not. Tender Shoot Dryad. Nezzy Hall Primal Tide. Journey to Eternity. Bishop of Binding. Tomb Robber. Direfleet Daredevil. Deeproot Elite. Trapjaw Tyrant. Slaughter the Strong. Azor the Lawbringer. Atali Primal Storm. Paladin of Atonement. Profane Procession. Captain's Hook, the regular. Induced Amnesia. Tetzimok Primal Death. Zetalpa Primal Dawn. Awakened Amalgam. Dead Man's Chest. Path of Metal. Yeah, there it is. Tetzimok Primal Death. Yeah, 2 of those. Crafty Cut Purse. Wayward Sword Tooth. Jade Light Ranger. Kamina Tyrant of Oraska. Protean Raider. Silverclad Ferocidons. Golden Garden. Guardian. Man, I'm having problems. Mastermind Acquisition. Kamina's Awakening. And that's that on the Rivals of Ixalan. Could be Ixalan. I don't know. Ixalan sounds better to me. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Where are we going to put it? We're going to put it there. There. Right there. I'm tricking you, Mr. Lowe. We're going to keep it right in the middle. Right there. Gotcha. At Hobby Homie. I know I said it, say again. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry about the Donruss baseball story, but I was definitely, I guess, worth telling because the cards hustled me there. Almost exact same pack. I'm out. Like, shout. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.